Hello YouTube, this is my post auto assembly video. Tell you, it comes and goes so quickly, so unbelievably quickly. I can't believe I've been going to these things since 2009 now. That seems very, very distant at this point, very distant. I noticed when I was talking to Mikey, G-Wolf V3 on Sunday, when he pointed out that we'd been friends for 5 years, give or take, for a decade or half a decade at least. That's really strange. That's very, very weird. As per you, it's difficult to make these videos these days. It is difficult to make them without repeating everything that's been said before. One of the things I can say is that the atmosphere, as I sincerely hoped it would be, the atmosphere is very different from last year. 2011 was very good. It was fantastic. It was really good fun. But there was, because of various different things, there was an atmosphere. The riots in Birmingham had caused a slight air of consternation, but there are also personal things that were going on in people's lives. Money, personal problems that just made the event slightly more tense and almost necessary than it actually should have been. This year the atmosphere was wonderful, really, really good. I don't know whether the change of venue helped, but I think it probably did to a certain degree. The new venue, by the way, was fantastic. I was really pleased with the new venue. What people generally consider to be teething troubles, I really enjoyed. Ray and I spent most of the Thursday when we arrived wandering around, sort of getting our bearings and everything. It's very cool. I mean, the best thing about the venue is that there is space. There's much more space. It's much more possible to wander around both inside and outside the venue. And I enjoyed that greatly. I enjoyed exploring and finding, getting the lay of the land, so to speak. And also, just in terms of the services and the hotel provides, and the hotel itself, the architecture, the design, it's a million miles away from the Holiday Inn. As serviceable as the Holiday Inn was, and it was for a weekend, this hotel is another order of magnitude. It really was. Beautiful food. I mean, the breakfasts, which I had no idea were incorporated in the price of the hotel room, were brilliant. Absolutely beautiful breakfasts. There was nothing you could want for from the breakfast. Real coffee made from actual beans rather than some hideous instant jarred stuff. Anything you could possibly want to make any order of breakfast you could possibly desire. Those were very, very good. I feel those are some of the things I'm going to miss most profoundly, actually. I really miss having the access to that variety of food at breakfast time. It's yeah, I liked the venue a lot. Some people found it. I mean, there were teething troubles. Certainly, there were issues that had to be overcome. One of the big ones is that because it's so spaced out, it's much more difficult to sort of cohere in one space. What we had more rather were groups of people or individuals who would wander around and sort of intersect at particular times. But I rather enjoyed that. I thought it lent a different energy to things. It meant that you had to get up and wander to commingle with people, to talk to people. I think I ran into more people incidentally this year than I ever have before. That's an auto assembly. I spoke to so many people this year, and there were so many people there who had been absent from the previous year, or from the previous 2 years even, owing to various different situations. That was nice. And a lot of new people as well. I mean, we had Mike, for example, Desirous Prime, who does the Transformers soap here on YouTube. This was his first auto assembly, and he came. It was so cool because he came with just like a specific. He wanted some very specific things, and he got them. He got exactly what he wanted, and that was really cool. I think he had a great time. I was most pleased about that. A Primus That's what Mike wanted. He wanted a Primus, and he got one. He got a Primus for a reasonably good price. I was most pleased. But yeah, Desirous Prime here on YouTube. That was really cool. Oh, great thanks to Jonathan, by the way. Thank you so much for the port. That was greatly appreciated. That basically meant that I didn't have to go on an alcohol run to Birmingham again. I mean, the bar prices were pretty expensive. They were pretty damn expensive. But that, again, that didn't really concern me so much. Because my particular drink, port, was actually really cheap for some strange reason. Everywhere else, port is an expensive drink. It's an ungodly expensive drink in some places. Even at cheap ass places like Weatherspoons, it's expensive. Here, it was dirt cheap. Go figure. But yeah, I liked the venue a lot. Also, we had the run of the NEC complex. It's on the NEC site, and the NEC complex is a hop, skip, and a jump away. And there's no one there this time of year. No one there. But it's all open. The whole complex is open. Because it's the thoroughfare from Birmingham International train station and also the interlinked Birmingham airport. So it has to be open. It's this vast space, this vast, cold, clinical space of corridors and auditoriums where they have things like the memorabilia shows and Gardener's World and electronics expos and things like that. But there was no one there this time of year, so it was really strange. Very, very weird experience. But cool. The grounds are nice. The Holiday Inn is in the centre of Birmingham, and with all the best will in the world, the centre of Birmingham is not a nice place to wander around. It's not a pleasant place to wander around, particularly after 5 o'clock of an evening. This space, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. There are lakes and there are parks and there are Canada geese everywhere. Not to mention their droppings just covering everything. But yeah, I liked the venue a great deal. And I liked the energy of this auto assembly, I really did. There was much more of a sense of almost maturity about it. That's the strange thing. It seems to have matured and grown into itself. People know more or less what to expect now. They know they're going to have a good time. And it's grown into itself. You fall into the community, the culture of auto assembly almost instantly. There's no preamble or whatever. You just meet people and you start talking and drinking and messing about, and that's it. It just starts. I mean, we had an impromptu and minor room party in our room on Thursday evening. That was good fun, in which I drank a bottle of port and spoke about shit like quantum physics and stuff. I only vaguely remember that, I must admit. I have no idea what was said or what was philosophized upon. Very, very vague memories of that, but it was good fun. It was good fun. But as per usual, more than anything, it was the people. I mean, one of the highlights of the event. It was sort of a masochistic thing for me, because it was simultaneously hilarious and agonizing. Was Rob, Ominous Voice. On the Sunday evening, Rob had the inspiration to bring down a copy of 50 Shades of Grey on his laptop and read it in the voices of various different cartoon characters and comedy characters, including, but not limited to, Skeletor, Mumra, the Moon from the Mighty Boosh, Gollum, the Hitcher from the Mighty Boosh, and various others. Brilliant. I mean, just the man is wasted. He so is. His voice is amazing. As his name would suggest, his voice is incredible. I know this from speaking to him on Skype, and speaking to him in person as well. I know Rob quite well, and his brother Will as well, the Ghost of Starscream, and Danny, his girlfriend. They're just wonderful, wonderful group of people. There's really no one else I would rather spend time with. But his voice is unreal. Rob's voice is elastic. He can emulate almost anyone. I think given enough time and enough practice, he could do anyone you cared to name. Even voices that are very sort of hard to reach, like Peter Cullens or Christopher Lee or whoever. He has this amazing voice, so it's very funny, but it hurt. I mean, I've read extracts of 50 Shades of Grey. I haven't, obviously, I haven't sit down to read the whole thing, but good God, is it crap? Good God, is it bad? I mean, just even hearing the prose read out is agonising. It's agonising certainly for someone who is tangentially involved in the publishing industry. Who, you know, I edit for Dark Moon Digest, and just to hear that crap, something like that, which is worse, a million times worse than a lot of the stories I get through to edit. You know, I mean, a lot of the stories I get through to edit are vastly superior in terms of their quality, in terms of their writing, their skill, their inspiration than this shit. And yet this this writer, whatever, is well worth God knows how many millions of dollars, and is affecting the publishing industry. The people in the publishing industry are looking for shit like this to publish now. So it's having a direct impact upon the state of literature, and that's just painful to me. It's painful. Anyway, that's just hilarious. I have no doubt there'll be a video of that up before long. I think Adam, Glasgow Philosopher, filmed it, a bit of it anyway, so look out for that on Glasgow Philosopher's channel. Utterly brilliant. Gerard was there, which I'm so Wolfgang 1. I'm so pleased about that, because Gerard wasn't there last year. He couldn't make it for various different reasons. And it's just so good for him to come, and he's an essential energy at Auto Assembly. He brings a different energy to it than almost anyone else there. He has a very, very unusual energy about him in context with other Transformers fans. In the same way that a lot of people do, they bring different elements to the mix, and his is essential to me. It's a kind of it's a kind of enthusiastic cynicism, if that makes any sense. Gerard has this incredible capacity to step back from what he's doing, from his own enthusiasm for things, and to appreciate when something is shit that he likes. And that's amazing. That's an amazing quality, because he expresses it so well as well. There's a sardonic analysis that comes through when Gerard talks about, like, the Pretenders that he bought, for example, which he knows are shit, but which he has an enthusiasm for, which he's willing to spend money on. I think that's wonderful. It's essential. It's essential in a community that can be so incredibly enthusiastic about this source material. But obviously I'm not going to mention everyone. That's impossible. I spoke to a lot of people this time around, but I had such fun speaking and just having conversations with people. That's it for me. It's the social engagement. I like the social engagement. I mean, my jobs force me to be social, but the vast majority of my jobs it's very technical social engagement. It's wearying social engagement, because you are acting as a brain for someone else who cannot act socially. So it's very mechanical, and it's not fulfilling as such. The act of allowing someone else a degree of freedom is fulfilling, but the social engagement tends to be very mechanical and technical. So being able to engage on the level of enthusiasm is great fun. It's wonderful. I had a great conversation. Chris McFeely, it was wonderful to see him back. He couldn't, very unexpectedly, couldn't make it last year, and I know that was an absolute blow to you. So it's a blow to everyone, But I had a great conversation with Chris on the Sunday evening, very long as well. I think we were chatting for about an hour or more at least. Very, very good conversation about all sorts. We went a bit meta with things. We were discussing the phenomena of the event and the phenomena of fandom, what's being in it, what's seeing it from the inside. It's very, very unusual. And Jeff, of course, who I could talk to Jeff about movies forever and ever, because he is knowledgeable and enthusiastic about movies, and he has an analytical mind when it comes to movies, as do I. He has standards of taste that he is willing to accept, and some that he is not, and I completely appreciate that. But and of course I went with Ray. I love Mess. We shared a room. Um, and Ray made out like a bloody bandit. He really did. I mean, Ray got some amazing stuff on the first night on Thursday evening. He came back to the room with this stuff, these BotCon exclusive toys, Breakdown and the BotCon Cindersaw. How did you get those? Brilliant. And also, what was the other thing he managed to? Oh yeah. He came up on the first day on Saturday when the halls had opened. They hadn't been open that long, but Ray sort of made his way to me through the crowds, and he was really, 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 really excited, and I mean just over the moon. He said, You've got to come and see what I've just bought," and I did, and he'd got from this very particular stall. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a very particular stall, and it was my favourite of the whole convention. He bought a Mega Zarak, a Universe Mega Zarak. This toy's really rare. I mean, I've only ever seen it for sale a handful of times on eBay, and every single time it goes for stupid money, hundreds and hundreds of pounds. He got it for 50 quid from this stall, and just fantastic. He made out like a bandit. He really did. He got some brilliant toys for amazing prices. On a fairly limited budget, just amazing. I'm sure you'll see them all very, very soon. Nick Hardy. Oh, I'm so glad Nick came. Nick and his lovely wife came on the Sunday. Nick, by the way, took some amazing photographs for Auto Assembly. I'm going to link to Nick's Facebook page where the photographs are, because he took some beautiful photographs. Well, he's great. Nick is great fun to socially engage with because he is on all the time. You know, he's a photographer like through and through. It's his art. It's his thing. It's part of his personality. So every so often he'll leap up. You know, he's quite a wiry guy. He'll leap up and he'll perch on tables and chairs and things just to get, or he'll crouch down on the floor just to get the perfect composition while it's there. And he took some amazing photographs. He really did. That was great fun. It was so good to talk to Nick. But yeah, I won't go on listing people's names because it's redundant. There are so many people who you engage with throughout the course of this event that it's not possible to mention everyone. It was just lovely to speak to people again and to see people I haven't seen for a year or more in some cases. It's a pity that we don't have the resources to get together more, or we aren't closer together. I love that. I mean, there's a couple who live within easy reach of me, and those would be Gerard, Rob, Will, and Danny, and Ray. Ray is practically a neighbour at this point. I mean, he lives a couple of train rides away in Wolverhampton. It's very easy to get to Ray's. But yeah, and these are the people I've actually become really, 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 really close to, because I go to their houses and we engage socially, and it's really nice. It's good to see them again. But it would be nice if everyone else were closer as well, especially some of you who live really far away. People from the US, from Denmark, from Iceland, from Norway, from all over the place. It would be lovely to see you all again, but oh well. There's always next year, isn't there? Right, what did I get? But the haul this year is almost exclusively Beast Wars. There's one toy that isn't a Beast Wars toy, and I'm perfectly happy with that, because hang on. Oh, there they are. Yes, I'm just checking where I put my Transformers. I love Beast Wars. Beast Wars is my thing. I absolutely adore Beast Wars. So it was about filling the gaps. I didn't intend on buying anything particularly expensive this year, but I did. I did buy something particularly expensive. So yeah, I will get onto the haul now. One of the first things I picked up, actually, I've got loads of tiny Beast Wars figures. The little basic figures and things, like this guy. This is it's not Hydra. Hydra is the Beast Wars Neo repaint. This is Laserbeak, I think. He's one of the Pterosaur repaints from Beast Wars. This is a lovely little mold. It's a very sweet little toy. Really poseable, and it does that automorph thing. It's very easy to transform because it automorphs more or less. You don't really have to do a great deal with it, and also it has a lovely little weapon that can be stored away. Cool little thing. Love him. I love this guy. This is a weird ass toy, man, but I love it. I picked it up because it is a weird ass toy, and this is something I really appreciate about Beast Wars as well. Generally speaking, the good guys, the Autobots, don't particularly do it for me. They tend to be a bit lame. For my money, they tend to be a bit dull, aesthetically speaking, a bit uniform. Not so with the Beast Wars. The Beast Wars have really weird, funky looking good guys, and this is one of the weirdest and the funkiest. This is Noctoro. He's a Fusor, obviously, and he's the weird ass fusion of a Brahmin bull and a bat. But what gets me about this guy is his bot mode. His bot mode is nothing short of demonic. He looks really cool. Yeah, I'm transforming now because he's one of those toys that he's easy to transform. It doesn't take any effort whatsoever. But he's so funky looking. He looks like a devil, like a demon or something. He does not look like he was intended as a Maximal. Let's put it that way. And probably wasn't. There's a lot of toys from the Beast Wars range that were obviously intended as Predacons, and then ended up in the Maximal ranks instead for whatever reason. Oh, wrong. There we go. That's better. It's actually a little bit more complex than you would first presume, seeing his size, because he's really tiny. There he is. There. That's a Maximal. That's a good guy. That's Noctoro. He is fucking weird looking. He's really malevolent. Demonic face and horns, wings. He looks evil. He looks freaking evil, and I love him. What else did I get? I got a replacement for my Transmetal 2 Iguanus because he was broken not too long ago. This is one of my favourite Transmetal 2s and one of my flat out favourite Transformers ever. I just love it. The detail, the colour, everything, the articulation, the just flat out beautiful elegance and style of the thing. It's a stunner. I love him. What else did I pick up now? Yeah, this is cool. This is a lovely little thing, actually. I've got the Transmetal 2 Spittle, but I didn't have the original. That's the original Spittle, and he is magnificent. I mean, a toy of his size, and he looks so cool. He looks like a tree frog. I mean, he looks like a genuine tree frog. He is absolutely beautiful. Weird ass gimmick where his robot mode head shoots out of his beast mode mouth as a sort of tongue thing. Not quite sure what that's about, but he's just beautiful. I want the repaint of him now. What else did I pick up? Oh yeah. This is what is his name now? I can't remember his name, this guy. He's one of the Dinobots. He's very obscure repaint of Transmetal Pterosaur. He's one of the Dinobots from Beast Machines. The Beast Machines Dinobots are all recolors, repaints, and sometimes slight remolds of existing dinosaur molds. You've got things like Magmatron and T-Rex, which is a repaint of Beast Wars Megatron. This is a repaint of Transmetal Pterosaur, and it's just lovely. He's got sort of like tequila sunrise colours going on. He's stunningly beautiful. Love him. Love him. One of my favourites. I've been playing with this one since I got home. I love this toy. This is one of the flat out one of the best Maximals, and one of the best Beast Wars toys out there. This is Ramulus. He's magnificent. I mean, he is flat out magnificent. You can expect a proper review of this guy very soon. You see, this is the thing with the Beast Wars. The Maximals are good. They are really interesting. The Autobots from other lines, generally speaking, just don't do it for me because they tend to be quite uniform. You know, there tends to be a very particular aesthetic which is not broken or deviated from very much. The Beast Wars toys are all universally gorgeous. He's magnificent. Just magnificent. The transformation, the style, the look of him. I mean, he's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love this toy. Now. Oh, this is cute as hell. I bought this on a whim because this is generally speaking, I'm an advocate of taking toys out of their boxes and playing with them, but this is staying in its box. This is a definite display piece. This is the Fox Kids repaint of Clawjaw, and the reason I bought it is because it comes with a VHS, a videotape of Beast Wars. I mean, that really does demonstrate how old Beast Wars is now. This format, which will never be played again, I think it's cute. I think it's absolutely beautiful. That's going on my wall as a display piece. I think it's a beautiful little box. There were a couple of those actually. I'd have bought them all if I had the money. This was one of my first and favourite purchases. This was one of the more expensive pieces I bought, and I've been after this for a long time. This is one of the last Spider Formers I needed to get. This is the Fox Kids repaint of Tarantulas, which was used in the 3H comics as the undead Tarantulas. He comes back after his death in Beast Wars in the 3H comics. He uses the power of the Vok that he incorporated to rebuild himself, and he comes back as this ultra-powerful zombie Predacon. He's undead in this form, and he's fueled by all the corrupted powers of the Vok. So he's a real badass in this form, Tarantulas. He's nasty to the nth degree, and I love it. The colours of this guy, again, expect a review of this, because the colours are, particularly in bot mode, he looks magnificent in his bot mode. I love this. I love it to bits. Oh yeah, this one. I was determined to get one of the cyborg beasts. I really was, which are Japanese retoolings, very significant retoolings of existing Beast Wars molds. This is Hellscream, who is again a stunner. Just look at that bloody hand. That is amazing, isn't it? It turns into a very big techno-organic shark. Beautiful toy. Really pleased with that one. Now the only non-Beast Wars toy I got was again one of my first purchases, and one that I went to Auto Assembly specifically wanting. This is the thing that's weird about this year. This is what's unique about this year. Every year I've gone to Auto Assembly with based, not a list, but basic ideas of what I maybe wanted to pick up, and I've never found them. I've always found something else that's been equally interesting but wasn't what I intended. This year I've got exactly what I wanted. I mean exactly. There is one purchase which I'll show you at the end, which is the big one. It's the pièce de résistance. It's the one that made the convention for me, and if I'd just gotten that, I wouldn't have cared if I'd gotten anything else. But this is this one I really did want. This is Dark Crumple Zone from the Cybertron range. He's a lovely bot. He's completely removed from the Beast Wars feel and aesthetic. He's a completely different toy. He's big and blocky and kind of G1, but awesomely beautiful. Really fun and durable. I love him. He's a great toy. Now, there was a purchase on Saturday from the same stall from which Ray purchased his Megazarek. This stall was selling rarities for very reasonable prices. Now, I saw this from afar. This is Windrazor from one of the BotCon exclusives from 1999. This is unbelievably rare. I've seen this for sale a handful of times, and every single time it is unholy in its expensiveness. Like we're talking like approaching 200, 300 pounds for this guy. He had a price tag of 125 pounds, which I thought was unbelievably reasonable. But what I found upon inquiry is that he didn't come alone. Included in that price was this BotCon Sandstorm from the same BotCon, from the same set. Really, it was just decision. Ray, guard this. I'm going to get money. This was these were the biggest purchases of the convention. £125 for both of them together. That for these is an unbelievable bargain. Really, if I'd have just got these, that would have been fine. That would have been absolutely fine. It would have been more than I ever expected to purchase from this convention. Again, I came hoping to get a Sandstorm. I really did want this toy. Because I've got the other one. I've got the other convention exclusive, the double punch version. So now all I need is Scorponok, the original one. I am phenomenally pleased with this. I tell you, this is again one of the rare instances where this is staying in box. I'm not taking it out of the box. It's just it's too lovely. It's too much a rarity for that. This is not a play piece. This is a collector's piece at this point. And I absolutely love them both. Ideally, I'd get another one of these so I could have it out of the box. But you know, it's so beautiful. This thing. It's such a gorgeous bit of work. I don't care. I don't mind either way. These are it for me. These are the purchases that made the convention. I always look for one. I look for one that gets the heart pumping and which makes everything, all of it worthwhile. You know, which is it just releases endorphins. The very fact of it makes you feel good. That's it for me. When I purchased that, I was like, you know what, everything else is bonus. Everything at this point is a complete bonus. Everything else is almost redundant. So on top of that, all of that couldn't get better. Could not get better. Absolutely stunning time. For me, the best time I've had this year. And it always is Auto Assembly, you know. There's very rarely anything that tops it. What could potentially top it this year? I don't know. Falling in Love or something. That could potentially, but that's not likely. Maybe if I can get a book published and have it do well, that would top it. But I can't think of anything much, to be honest. It was the best of times, as per usual. And we're coming to expect that now. We are coming to expect it to be the best of times. And as a result, that's what it always is. It's what we make it. And I cannot emphasize enough how much fun Auto Assembly is. You know, if you can make it, however, you know, wherever you happen to be, if you have the opportunity, come along. You will enjoy it. You will have an experience, probably unlike anything you've ever had at a convention before, because it is different. I don't want to get sort of like tribalistic about it, but it is different from most conventions. It's different because it's so unbelievably communal. It's wonderful. It's just a shame. It's a sodding shame that we've got to wait for a year for the next one now.